I mean, we got to get straight to it, though,
Yeah,
Kia. I mean, it's Autism Awareness Month.
Exactly, man. And we do this like we always do about this time.
That's
we
right.
got to come out and let everyone know that this is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. You know what I mean? And I have our nonprofit, which is directed by my wife, Queen Coleman, autismadvocates.org. You know what I mean? Autism Advocates, we are different, not less. We are blessed by the best. And this is the month where we come out and we really get out here on the ground and go advocate for autism. You know, autism is, a lot of people don't know what it is, but it's a delay, you know what I mean? It's a developmental delay, you know what I mean? And the spectrum is very, very wide, you know what I mean? You can have someone that is talking to you just like me, but just may have social miscues that has autism, but you may have someone that's like my son, who's severe non-speaking autism. Yeah. So, you know, I've never heard my son speak a full sentence to me. He's 13 years old this year, you know? So, you know, the spectrum is wide.
Is there any kind of treatment to get him to talk, or is it that he don't want to talk, or how does that go,
the thing about it is, man, like I said, the spectrum is wide, and you have some, he may develop speech, you know what I mean? We hope for that. I pray for that every day, you know what I mean, for God to loose that for my son. But however, there are children that have autism that go their whole life without actually, if they're nonverbal, non-speaking, they may not speak, you know? They use, you know, I see all things over the internet all the time. Like, okay, you can just, you know, try to take the metal, you know, all the metal that's in them and change his diet and stuff like that. And, you know, we hear things about maybe they're caused by the vaccines as well. So, you know, it's a lot of things out there. But, you know, one thing about it is one thing for people to speak on something, another thing for somebody to go through it and be a real parent and be actually do it. And that's what me and my wife and we do. And it's like, man, it's just one of those things where, you know, you hope for the best, but you are able to react to the now.
Could somebody be autistic and not even know it?
Yeah, I think here lately there's been a lot of autism in adults.
Talk to me. So is it developing in adults, or did they just
I think
get diagnosed?
This is not diagnosed. Okay. You know what I mean? But now that, because the other thing, autism is on the rise like 200% since the 90s. No one has really. It's been one of those things that like people aren't talking about. Yeah. Now, when COVID was on the rise, like all those cases and percentages were going up, and they're 1 out of every 36 black kid or Latino kid is getting autism right now. Yeah. It's more prevalent in males than females, but there are some females with it as well. Yeah. If it was COVID, it'd be, you know, it was maybe shutting stuff down. But it's weird that it's not really discussed. And now, since it's starting, companies like Autism Advocates and our 501c3 nonprofit, we get out here and let people make people aware of it. Yeah. You know, so that people can do it. And now people are being more aware of what it is. They're able to go get diagnosed and go get tested. That's why you're having many more of the much more of the adults starting to get diagnosed with autism.
So answer me this then, Kia. What if you sitting over here married and you didn't realize that your partner was autistic? What would be some of the cues for you to be able to catch and say, you know what, maybe you might want to get tested?
I think repetition sometimes, like if you listen to certain like certain things with music, like sometimes
don't be
so the same song over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's kind of the thing. Like I think I know I'm a little bit on the spectrum because I do that as well. But I think that there's also, like, you know, there's a bit of the eating the same things just every time. You're never switching it up. Some of the social miscues and saying certain things that may be completely, you know, maybe a little bit too bold for certain scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just certain things like that, man. Like. Are some of the things you can be able to look out for. But I do think also it's like I said, the spectrum is wide, so it's different. I think when you were young, like with my son, you know, we were looking at him missing milestones. You know, not when they say the doctor said you're supposed to be able to talk at this particular time, and he's not making that milestone. Or he's supposed to be able to read or do this particular thing at a certain place, and he doesn't do that. You know, missing milestones is what would cause us to be able to go figure out what's going on with it. And so, I mean, like I said, it's just different. But on our website, autismadvocates.org, we have all of these things that you can be able to, tools and jewels you can be able to use to be able to see, you know, if you think you may have autism. You know, everything is right there for you to be able to check out at autismadvocates.org.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that's a beautiful thing right there, man. I mean, with you doing your work in autism. How has that been for you, just working in the field and, trying to combat some things?
It's been the thing about it. What I noticed is that it's just a learning curve for a lot of people. In the educational system, my wife, she fights tooth and nail with these IEPs and stuff like that with the schools, just because the curriculum is not based around children with autism. So they got to kind of unlearn certain things with their curriculum. So that's one of the hurdles that we have to help with parents out there with the IEPs with their kids.
Yeah,
it'd be a very rough thing when you find out your child isn't making their quote unquote stages and milestones they're supposed to have. So we have also things on our site that we talk about or that we help with online. Things that we do with autismadvocates.org as well, to be able to talk to some of the parents and help them through, the IEPs and things of that nature. But working with schools, but in Memphis we do. The Memphis City schools have been really good about opening up for us to open their schools up to us, and we go to. We probably have hit about 500 actual students in the classrooms. We go to the actual autism classrooms. We have our mascot, Ace the Advocate, and he goes and just brings joy to the kids. And we give things to the sensory rooms that each of these classrooms have, because most of you have autism, there's sensory, they have sensory issues or whatever. So we have a lot of sensory items that we give and donate to the classrooms that actually the teachers love and the kids and the parents and as well as the students love. And then we also we give $100 gift cards from Kroger, gift cards to each of the children.
Yeah.
So that, because when you have a child who has autism, they don't even eat the same things. What I mean? They may eat something over and over again. It could be very, very expensive for the parents. And,
Wait a minute now, don't let me find out that you only eat steak and shrimp now.
I mean, they may,
steak and lobster every day.
Listen, you may have a child that's all they may want to eat. They may not want to eat anything else but that. You know? And you have to fight them to try to get them to something else, you know what I mean? So sometimes that can be very difficult, very expensive. Right. For a parent, even if it's just a particular cracker or a particular juice or a particular thing, and having to rebuy that and stock that and make sure you got that. So we do that, our part, to make sure that we get that stipend into the parents for each of the children in the classrooms that we touch in Memphis City schools that have autism. So we do that and just go through. And then we also bless the teachers and the parents as well, because great teachers in our autism community are so necessary. This is not a job that you can just do and just not take it home. You know what I mean? These teachers go above and beyond, the good ones that are out there. So we make sure we give them a stipend as well, because we just a little pat on the back to let them know that we appreciate the teachers, because they don't get paid enough to deal with the children that we have, and then they're there, for 6 to 8 hours out of the day. So you just want to make sure you're taking care of those teachers as well. So that's what we do. Some of the things we do with our nonprofit.
As a parent, though, man, how difficult is it as a parent to raise a child with autism?
There is never a dull moment.
Okay.
I got to be honest with you, man. Like, there are so many phases that you go through. Just normal things like potty training. You know what I mean? How do you potty train a child that has autism and doesn't speak? But they understand everything. Not being non-speaking and non-verbal doesn't mean they're not non-learning.
Okay.
But when you're first going through it, you're not getting the response from a child, so you don't know what they're knowing, what they're not knowing. It's so much unsaid things that my son and I that we talk through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just the way you go about meeting him where he's at.
Yeah.
And meeting he or she as a parent where your child is at.
Yeah.
And being able to be patient. So you need a lot of patience. My locks represent patience. And you need a lot of patience in dealing with a child with autism.
Yeah.
And my wife, I got to commend it to her, man. God knew what he was doing when he gave us our son with autism, because I truly believe that when you have a child with special needs, man, God give you that child, he know who to trust with that child.
Damn right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think my wife, I just commend her, because Queen is just she is so patient. You know what I mean? And then there's also another thing, when we have 4 boys. We have 4 kids. We have 3 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, so much attention is put on the child with autism. So being able to try to balance the attention with the other children and making sure that they feel like they're getting what they need. I mean, it is a work in progress, but it's something that we love, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So how does that child or anybody wind up functioning as an adult?
Sometimes they don't be high. Sometimes some children with autism are always going to be with their caregivers and need 24 hours of care.
Okay.
You know, which is why I work so hard out here, you know what I mean, to make sure that when I'm gone, I have to make sure things are set up for my son.
Yeah.
You know, he may not be able to be such a rap hustler like his daddy.
Yeah.
You know, and he may, you know, so I gotta set things up and pay things forward.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to make sure that he has what he needs and his siblings have what they need to make sure that their sibling is on point.
Yeah.
All of my children and are autism advocates. They all understand, they empathize and understand what it is to have a child or a brother or a sister, you know, sister to a brother with special needs. You know what I mean? So I'm raising these children to be able to take the wheel and
be advocates.
To be advocates. And then even after my wife and I are gone, our nonprofit will continue to be here.
Yeah.
And they'll continue to be able to help.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? People that are just like their brother, you know what I mean? And just do the job. So
exactly.
you know, that's why it is a generational work, you know what I mean?
Damn right.
But it is so rewarding, you know.
Okay.
Those moments when you figure out, oh man, he gets it, and you know, he understands, and you know, early on in our marriage, when when you and this could be a very straining thing on the marriages or to the mom and dads out there that maybe have a child with autism and you going through it because you're stress and the strain is on y'all. It be the moments though that they come through and the child lets you know they understand. Like when me and my wife had a little tiff, and my son, when he was like 2.5, he put my face and my wife's face together. You know what I mean? And was like, I'm like, oh man, I busted in tears. We both cried because we was like, he understands.
He understands.
And then once we understood that,
he was basically saying, I'm tired of y'all shit.
Exactly. Now come on together now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you have those moments like that, man, you like, okay, all right. You know, and then just when he got potty trained and when he you know, when he started to be able, we have these iPads that we're gonna be gifting to the children in Memphis first with autism. Their speaking pads that we'll be using for, right? He's speaking tablets, and what they do, my son has a list of all these different things on his app, right? Yeah. And he uses this pad to say what I want, you know what I mean?
That's
He'd
hard.
be like, man, I want my iPad right now, please, you know what I mean? So, and the fact that he has learned the signals and the commands of that, you know, and being able to figure out what he wants and how to navigate that.
So answer me this though.
How does he do it?
How can he use that to speak, but then verbally he won't speak? Man, what is it? Did the doctors they come?
There is no cure. There is no cure. This is not a disease.
Yeah.
This is something that like
it just is what it is.
It is what it is. But you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I marvel at the fact that he can get your phone right now, use it, find what if he wants to watch on YouTube or Netflix, whatever he want to find, he will find it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But won't say, you know, a full sentence to me. Yeah. You know, and does
he laugh though?
Oh, he laughs.
Okay.
Oh man, listen. Yeah. He lets me know he loves certain things that I do. He loves to play. The man he's the smartest kid I know. Like he's a little genius, man. Yeah. Like, you know, and he likes to play games. Like I might put my Rolex down somewhere and just sit in the house. Okay, man. I come downstairs, chain and everything. I come downstairs. Man, I know I put my stuff right here. Okay. And listen, he'll just be upstairs in his room laughing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, give me my stuff, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stuff like that. He's a ham, you know what I mean? Yeah. He loves to do stuff like that, bro. He's so smart. He loves outdoors. Yeah. Loves to just, you know, he's an outdoor kid. You know what I'm saying? Loves outdoors. We have a dog, Mercy, and he's just like he's an Alaskan Husky, and he's like man, almost like one of those care dogs, like you know what I mean. He just, you know, he loves pets. He's just empathetic. He's empathic is what he is. He feels things, like you know what I mean. And if he vibes with you, you know what I mean. He'll come to you. He'll do something. He'll shake your hand. He'll get in your face, and you know what I mean. Do stuff like that, and just let you know. It's a beautiful thing, man. Like, you know what I mean. It really is.
For those that want to get involved with the nonprofit, man, how can they contact you and get down with the movement?
Autismadvocates.org, autismadvocates.org, autismadvocates.org. We're different, not less. We're blessed by the best. You know, we have a lot of things that you could be able to be a part of. Like, you know, people rock the merch, they cop merch from us, they buy tumblers, you know, anything to support, that's fine. But we don't really ask for people to try to, like, you know, we're not one of them nonprofits that like, man, give us some money, man.
Yeah.
We're not into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather go to these major nonprofits, major companies that are funding some of these other nonprofits with millions of dollars, but we don't feel any of the. I don't feel what y'all doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and that's why with Autism Advocates, we make sure that the people in our community feel what we doing. You know what I mean? You know, we're not finna just go, oh, okay, you got $1 million for this particular nonprofit that's supposed to be dealing with autism, but then there's no trickle down effect where I don't see the black babies feeling affect parents, feeling no effect of that. That ain't what we doing. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, you paying your CEO $1 million a year. You dig what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
This ain't that. You know, this ain't that. This is God's work.
Yeah.
This is it's hard work. You know, we are blessed to be able to have. Shout out to the Shelby County commissioners in Memphis. We're blessed to be able to have government aid and assistance for what we're doing, and we're thankful for that. You know what I mean? But you know, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, you know, autismadvocates.org to find out some of the tools that we have on our site and things that we can be able to help you if you are an autism person with autism or an autism sibling or a parent with autism. You know, these are tools and jewels that we have for you guys. So we do this for y'all. You know what I mean? Now, you know, that's really what we own, man. Major corporations that want to tap in with us, please. You know what I mean? But we're not trying to go ask for for dollars and money from people that are just trying to make it out there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the move. You know
I'm with you on that.